Raise your hand if you've ever said, I just need a vacation, and fully believed that a few days away would magically fix everything. Same. So let's talk about that. Welcome to the Balance Recruiter, a slightly unhinged, definitely honest, and occasionally helpful space where we talk about burnout, balance, identity shifts, and why your to do list still has 19 things on it, even though you swore you were going to rest. In theory. Hi, I'm Chastity, professional plate spinner, laundry dodger, and someone who absolutely romanticized vacations as a personality reset more times than I'd like to admit. And currently, I'm resisting the urge to book a runaway trip, not to escape, but to recalibrate to Big Sur. Imagine the fog rolling in, cliffs meeting the ocean, no loud plans, just perspective. Gorgeous ocean views. Big Sur feels like a place that doesn't rush you. Like it quietly reminds you how small your problems are, without shaming you for having them. That's the kind of reset I crave. Grounding, not distracting. Let's start with the vacation fantasy. Because honestly, I always say this. If I don't jump on a plane pretty soon, or at least every so often, I will lose my mind. Who else does that? A lot of people, I'm sure. I can't be the only one. So the fantasy is you book your trip, you arrive relaxed, you sleep perfectly, you come back refreshed, your burnout is gone, your inbox behaves, your problems stay on red. The fantasy says, just get me out of here and I'll be fine. But the fantasy puts a lot of pressure on a few days off. And when the vacation doesn't actually fix everything, we feel disappointed or worse, broken. I know firsthand that my inbox does not behave. I come back to 790 emails that I have to catch up on. I sometimes don't feel refreshed because I'm thinking about work while I'm on vacation. So, what's the point? Right. The healthy reality that we don't talk about often enough is that we take our nervous system with us on vacation. If you're burnt out before you leave, you don't magically arrive rested. Sometimes you end up getting sick, you feel restless, feel emotional, you cannot relax, you keep checking your phone, and you think about work anyways. Then you come back thinking, why didn't that vacation work? Because the rest isn't just location based, it's pattern based. I believe for me, vacations are a way to reset, but I've also used vacations to run away, to get away from things. I just need a moment. I need to reset myself. I've taken both types of vacations. The ones that gave me anxiety because I was just in the rut of thinking of work and it was restless. And I've had those vacations that have also offered me clarity and peace that has allowed me to step away from the job that I was at. It was just not aligning both ways, me for the job and the job for me. And it allowed me to just say, yeah, I need to exit now. Thank you. Here's why vacations don't fix burnout. And this is something I've had to come to realize. Whenever I use vacations as a reason to get away from my job or just to relax and reset, it wasn't the vacation that allowed me to rest and relax and reset. It was the actions that I took in preparation or the mindset that I had during my travels that allowed me to find clarity. So, burnout isn't caused by the lack of travel. Boo, because I love it. It's caused by chronic stress, the lack of boundaries, emotional overload, constant availability, pressure without recovery. And these are things that can come from leadership or from your peers or even from yourself that you overthink or you overanalyze and or you put a lot of pressure on you. So these are things, external things that can be helped. These are where you draw the line. This is where you prioritize, you organize, and you have to be able to separate yourself. Vacations help, but they're not going to be your cure. They can highlight what's missing, the rest routines, your boundaries, your sustainable pacing, and your emotional safety. If you return from your vacation that you absolutely had a great time on to the same patterns at work, the burnout returns too, eventually, if not sooner than later. So, how do you make the rest actually work? Instead of expecting the vacation to fix you, try this. Before you leave, loosen your expectations. Stop planning productivity. Set realistic return boundaries. I know for myself, anytime I go on a trip or a vacation, and if it's going to be out of the country, I like to prepare myself. How is it going to look like when I get back? What are things that I can delegate or pass off to my peers or my leadership team? And this is just so when I do get back, I'm not bombarded with 792 unread emails, sometimes over 1,000. But these are things where if you plan it accordingly, especially if you have clients that are relying on you, I think that's really important because you don't want to get back to phone calls, unread emails, all of these things that are just pending and then will just give you stress all over again. So before you leave, make sure you prepare yourself. Loosen the expectations also that things are going to be perfect. And stop planning productivity. Like you have to be able to delegate or pass off nicely or be able to share the load appropriately. And when you set those realistic boundaries, especially when you're returning, it's knowing how to prepare your day, the things that you need to get done without taking on more tasks that don't need your actual attention. During your vacation, you want to rest without performing it. Do it naturally. I know that can be really tough for a lot of people. Unplug imperfectly. You don't have to have like a set plan on like how you're going to rest, how you're going to unplug, how many times a day you're going to meditate or what times of the day you're going to meditate. If you do that, that's wonderful. Good for you. But when you're so caught up in your mind and sometimes you get overwhelmed just thinking about having to carve out that time, just do it intentionally and notice how your body responds to it. If you feel uncomfortable, if it's something that you don't like doing, like journaling or that sort of thing, like for myself, I can start a journal, but I'll never finish one. Let's be real. That's why I have a podcast, guys. Honestly, you're my journal book. But going back to noticing how your body responds. So when you're resting, when you're doing certain things, whatever's going to make you rest, if it's listening to music, if it is the journaling, if it is the meditation, if it is walking around outside, whatever it is, notice how your body responds to it. And that's the one that's going to speak to you. That's the one that's going to feel good. And then when you do get back from your vacation, do not sprint immediately. This is where I'm talking about drawing the line, having clear boundaries, setting yourself up for success and not feeling the burnout and the pressure. Protect one thing that you learned and keep that boundary that you practiced. The goal of a vacation truly isn't to escape. It's to integrate. It's to get back to yourself. It's finding and grounding yourself. Let's do a quick reflection check-in because I love a good reflection. Let's ask ourselves, what do I expect rest to fix for me? What patterns follow me everywhere? What small change would actually support me between vacations? You don't need more trips. I mean, again, I love a trip. I love vacations. I think everyone should go on them, but don't use it for the wrong reasons. You don't need more trips. You need more permission. You need more intention. Thanks for hanging out with me today on The Balanced Recruiter. If today's balance means planning a getaway, canceling one expectation, or realizing that rest starts before you ever leave, that counts. New episodes drop every week, just in time for the weekend. Be sure to follow, share, and leave a rating if this space helps you slow down, even if it's just a little. Remember, burnout is real, balance is the goal, and I'm somewhere in between, probably staring at photos and videos of the foggy cliffs in Big Sur, pretending that clarity just happens when you stand still long enough. I'll see you on the next episode.